Michigan snow. Okay, got it. It is ranked as one of the largest snow events on record. How many inches of snow did Michigan City receive, and how long did the storm last? So let's start with how many inches. Now, some of us were alive during this time period.
56.
Nope, too high.
How about 36 inches?
All right, let's kind of meet somewhere in the middle. It was 40 inches of snow, and then and over what time period did that snow accumulate?
2 days.
It was the 15th to the 16th, but the time period was about how many hours?
36.
36 hours. You're right. You're not supposed to look this up on your phone.
I didn't.
So strong winds blew Arctic air down the full length of the lake, piling the snow into drifts. How high were the highest drifts?
12 feet.
More than 12 and less than 28.
16.
It was 15 feet. So 16, 15 feet. Very good. Interestingly enough, how did the neighboring communities react to when the call went out that there was a snow emergency?
They sent snow removal equipment, even from Chicago.
Ultimately, but what was the initial reaction?
Oh, they didn't think we even had any snow.
Exactly. When the mayor of Michigan City called the mayor of the LaPorte, they thought he was joking.
Because nobody else had it.
Because no one else had snow. It was all dumped on Michigan City. So 1967, what were the dates?
They're in January.
It was the end of January.
23rd.
It was the 26th to the 27th. It is actually for Chicago, it is one of the worst snowstorms on records. And the snow started at 5:02 in the morning on the 26th. And by midday on the 27th, how many inches of snow laid on the streets of Chicago?
40.
Too high.
15.
Well, it was 23, 24 inches.
I was born during that snowstorm.
Oh, there you go.
Cool.
Oh, very cool. This storm actually came across all the way from Chicago, of course, northern Indiana, and up into Michigan. It's considered one of the worst blizzards in Michigan. It is mainly because the weather conditions change so drastically in a short amount of time. In 1967, on January 25th, what was the temperature? This would be the day before the storm.
You know, say 68.
You're close. It was 65 degrees. And then so this sudden storm was just a real shock. I was in high school, and so I've got a great story connected with this, which I'll tell you later if you're interested. 1978, the blizzard lasted for 3 days. Does anyone know the dates?
December 23rd through 25th.
It's January.
Anyway,
Interestingly enough, it's the same dates as 1967. So it was January 26th to the 27th in 1978. For 3 days, snow fell and temperatures dropped. Air temperatures hovered at 0. Wind chill temperatures dipped to -51. It also brought hurricane force winds. And of course, the storm brought all traffic, both air and on land, to a complete standstill. How many deaths in the state of Indiana were attributed to the storm? Anyone want to take a guess?
25.
No, too high. It was 11 deaths. And one of them sadly was a woman who in a trailer and the heat went out, and she went out into the storm and wrapped her baby up and took the child with her. And when they got back, realized that she'd locked herself out of the trailer, and the child died before help could get there. That's one of the sad stories. Okay, now we already know that somebody was born during the one snowstorm. Any of us who are a little older have any stories about 1958? Pat Donahue, I bet you do. Don't all jump up at once. Can you all still hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you, but Pat's not here.
Oh, okay. Anyone else have any memories of 1958?
You know, my younger cousin Robin was born on the 16th, and the police came to my aunt and uncle's house on Springland Ave and took her to deliver the baby at St. Anthony's.
My story related to that was I was 7 years old, and I remember, of course, being snowed in, and my dad was at the hospital and was snowed in at the hospital and slept in one of the rooms at the hospital and stayed there to take care of emergencies at the hospital. In 1967, I'll tell you my story. I was in high school, and they let us out about midday. Now, we had one high school, it was Elston, downtown. And so I had a friend, I had some high school friends that lived over on Wabash Street. And so my best friend and I, his girlfriend lived over on Wabash Street. Did we go home? Oh, hell no. We went over to the girlfriend's house and stayed there until finally the girlfriend's mother said, you know, you guys got to go home. Well, my best friend lived in Duna Beach, and we were then downtown, and we decided we would go to, I lived in Potawatomi Park, and we would go to Liberty Trail and cut through down Liberty Trail over the bridge and then up through the woods to my house. Well, I don't remember how we got there. I think we hitchhiked. We got to Liberty Trail, and the bridge was out. It was under construction, and there was no way to get across the creek. So we turned around and hitchhiked back downtown and took the South Shore from 11th Street to Carroll Ave, walked to our house. And of course, what the interesting part about this is my parents were on vacation. And and us two boys had free range of the house and the liquor cabinet while my parents were gone, and we were snowbound in the snowstorm. Anyone else have any good stories?
I got stories about 67.
Good.
That was the year I got married, by the way, but it wasn't until August, so it was fine. But in 67, I was living in a trailer on the north side of Gary, and decided that I was going to be a good Boy Scout and go and help the hospital out by, you know, checking in patients or working on people or doing things like that. So the buddy who was living with me and I walked maybe about a half a mile or 3/4 of a mile to the hospital, went into the hospital, said, what can we do? And we ended up mopping floors in the basement. But it was still fun. I remember I had a 57 Buick, looked out the window of the trailer, and all I could see was the top of the Buick. The rest of it was gone under the snow. So that was pretty deep. And But that was my fun part of the 67 one. Anybody else?
We all have stories about 1999.
Well, let's do 78, 79.
So in 1999, my husband was still teaching in Chicago. So he would get up at 4 a.m. and by 4:20, he'd be out the door. And by 6 o'clock, it had started snowing and it snowed and it snowed. And about 3 o'clock that afternoon, the power went out and it snowed and it snowed. And by the next day, I realized that it was going to be a while before we ever got power back. And so I started cooking all the stuff that was in the freezer and put it out on the porch because it was cold there and I could freeze it there. And at the same time, I lit a fire in the fireplace. I turned on my oven during the daytime when it was light. And I would go to my loom and I'd weave. And on Friday afternoon at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, my husband, the power went back on. So I started cleaning the house. And by 4 o'clock, my husband appeared like nothing had happened. He couldn't understand why I hadn't gotten on 994, which was closed, to drive into Chicago. And about 2 weeks later, I came to Rotary dressed in my new woven outfit.
Oh, awesome. Love the Rotary connection.
So in 1999, because I wasn't born before when any of those other storms were going on, but in 1999, it wasn't, I don't remember what you said the dates were. It was January something though. Yeah. So my sister had recently had a baby in December. And so I was over there visiting, helping her out with some things, whatever. And, that's when the storm started, and then quickly realized that there was no way I was going out. At the time, I was driving a Saturn SL1, which if you remember the Saturns, they like are the lowest to the ground cars and super small. And so within a matter of time, I could barely even see my driver's door. And she was on a side street. She lived right down from the hospital at the time. And the reason I remember it is because there was a 1-month-old infant in the house that I was then trapped at for about 3 days. And my first experience spending that much time with a 1-month-old infant. Yeah, so that's why I remember it.
I go back to 1967. At that time, I was living in Gary, and I was selling electrical supplies for a wholesale distributor. And it was my day.
Who's speaking?
Ken,
Oh, okay. Hi, Ken.
hi there. And it was my day to come out to Michigan City to make my calls out here. So I left the house that morning, and the farther east I came, the worse it got. And I was following, it got to the point where I was just following in tracks of the car or truck ahead of me. And I got to looking around and I said, there's no way I'm going to be making any calls here. So I drove all the way out to the old Tinker's Dam because I knew there was a large parking lot I could just turn around in. And I turned around and just went right back to Gary.
This is John Wendell. I remember the 78 because we lived in apartments here in Michigan City. And up to that point in time, we never really knew our neighbors. But this offers the opportunity. We got together, there's 6 people on each side of the building, up and down. We got together and played cards for 3 days in a row. But also then when we finally got out of the building, went out to the car, which I couldn't find because it was all buried under the snow. And then got us, tried to start it. It wouldn't do anything. Oh, that's strange. Engine must be frozen up. Well, pop the hood and that's what happened. You look down where the engine was supposed to be at, is all white. The snow had just packed into it that you couldn't even see the motor at all. It took us about an hour to dig around the snow, find the engine and start the car finally up then. It's a wonderful time.
I got a couple.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so 67, we were loaded on the school buses to get out early. Beverly Shores School. And my sister, her best friend was Kathy Keys, and Susie did not want to go home. So we ended up going to Kathy's house thinking this would just be fun. Well, I spent 3 days there and I didn't have a best friend there. So it was just really pretty weird. But I do remember the drifts being twice as tall as I was. It was like, I was short, but still, it was a pretty amazing, amazing time. And then 78, I was in college at Bloomington. It was the first time ever that they canceled classes because the snow was just impossible. I mean, because you could walk everywhere, but you couldn't walk anywhere because the snow was so crazy, even that far down south. So pretty memorable things that we got to do. Thanks.
Okay. Well, all I have to say then is everyone stay warm, stay safe. I don't know that we'll live through another one of these events, but you never know.
Pat, do you want to do a good of the order at all?
Sure, let's do good of the order. Since I really don't know who you want to start with. Let's start with who's the folks here on that are connected on Zoom. That are still connected on Zoom. Dr. Smith? He may have stepped away. Dr. Bausbeck?
Mute yourself, Doc.
Good of the order?
Go ahead, Joe.
He's thinking.
You're on.
Hey, Matt, I think you said Dr. Smith. This is Dr. Bosbach.
I did say Dr. Smith, but he didn't respond, so I jumped to you.
Oh, okay, good. With it, nothing really important. We're having a good time here, staying warm down in Sarasota. With
Nice.
it, I know makes you all envious with it at this point. With it,
Yes.
We got a cold day today. It's only 70 with it, so compared to 85, I've got to put my coat on with it. So we've been fun down here for the last 4 weeks. So thanks for listening. Bye bye.
Maggie, you've got your coat on.
This is my nice little furry vest.
Oh, yeah.
Just to keep me warm in the office. It's not a coat. It's I'll wear it to Rotary next time and you can pet it. Okay, right. Not like Susie's woven garments that she makes so beautiful. No, I just want to say hey to everybody, and I do appreciate the virtual option because I think I can come more frequently. And then just to remind people that our scholarship applications are now open. So, and the amount we're giving out is going up every year. So it's a good thing. So go online, uflc.net, and spread the word out. Oh, and we are also co-hosting the Live to Lead leadership webcast that's going to be at the Civic Auditorium on the 21st of January. If anyone's interested in going, the speakers are going to be great. They're international speakers. So Trudy Menke is our local leadership expert, and we're partnering with her under Vibrant Communities to create more leaders in LaPorte County. So it will be inspiring. And if anyone wants to go, let me know, or I can maybe send that information to Jim Wilborn to send out, because Jim is so good with technology. Thank you.
Okay, how about Matt Howell? You still with us, Matt?
Yes, I am. I am still here. I have just been busy getting ready for the beginning of the new semester, which is starting on the 19th of January. Wish us all luck because we are all back full-time, face-to-face this week on campus. Not sure how much good of the order that is, but I'm excited to I would say I'm ambivalent because I am excited to be face-to-face with my students again. That is always such an enjoyable thing to actually interact and connect with the students. I'm just a little nervous because of the spiking rates. Additionally, we are hoping to get the Michigan City Valparaiso Rotaract Club up and running with Purdue University in the
Oh.
spring semester. We are still working on doing that, and our goal is to at least have a virtual meeting with the students sometime in the first 8 weeks. That's about it for me, just keeping my head down and trying to get through this winter.
Let's see, who else we got here? Dr. Smith, are you available? No. Salvation Army.
Hi, everyone. Doing good. We're just trying to stay clear of sickness. It's been hard. We've been having sickness go around our family, but hopefully we'll all get healthy soon. But we're looking forward to Martin Luther King Day on Monday and celebrating just the civil rights movement and helping our neighbors out and being a community.
Okay, I'll just fill in a little bit. I've been under the weather since New Year's. I've had some ankle foot bone spur problems, but I'm back in action now. Our daughter just called us and she thinks that yesterday she was exposed to COVID, and then she was over here, which is the potential that we were exposed. So now I'm sort of in quarantine for a little while till we find out what's happening with those folks. Just keep everybody in your prayers because I don't think there's any one of us who doesn't know somebody who's infected or been exposed. Jim, I'm going to turn back over to you to do the good of the order in the room, since I'm not sure who's there.
Dr. Bruce, I see you unmuted. Are you there now? Dr. Bruce?
Dr. Bruce, are you ready?
Dr. Smith, are you still here? No, I think he stepped away.
We'll go ahead with Jessica.
Hey, everybody, it's Jessica. Just recovered COVID myself. I have had a negative test, no more symptoms, and I did my quarantine, so I'm all good. It wasn't as bad as it could have been, I know. So I'm thankful for that. But on that note, Michigan City Area Schools is hosting a COVID clinic with vaccines and boosters next Thursday, the 20th at Joy. It's 3:15 to 6:15, and it's open to the public. Anyone 5 and up can come. So get your shot and your booster.
Awesome. Well, I wanted to mention earlier, so I've been out of town for the last couple weeks.
Hey, who's speaking, please?
Oh, this is Katie Eaton.
Okay.
Sorry, I can stand up if that's helpful. since
No.
there's yeah, so I was in Key West for a few days and then I flew to Tucson, was there for a while. It was beautiful, and Jessica and I kept joking, like when you were talking about all the winter weather, why do we live in this area? But I do love Michigan City. We all love Michigan City, but it was interesting. The only person on all of my travels that actually knew where Michigan City was when I mentioned where I was from was one gentleman. And what he knew about Michigan City was that we are on the tip of Lake Michigan and get all the really bad snow. That was like his exact comments. He's like, oh, you're in that city that gets all the really bad snow off of Lake Michigan. So I think it's funny that that's what we talked about today. But I would just mention my youngest, Addie, has been working really hard with a wonderful group of young people at the Center Stage Kids Theater Program at Michigan City High School. They'll be doing their production of Frozen Junior this weekend, Friday and Saturday at 7 p.m. and Sunday at 2. It's about an hour long. So if you have any little ones that might be interested in going to see some live theater production, you want to test it out before you take them to maybe a Broadway show or something, this would be a great opportunity to do that. These kids, because of COVID, started this show, I believe in May of 2019 was when they were trying to first do in 2020, early or some part, 2020. And so they have been working off and on throughout COVID to try to put this whole production together. Roles have changed and kids have decided not to participate, and parents have pulled, all the stuff that happens with that. So they finally have it all together and they're ready to present this weekend. So come out and see them at Michigan City High School, Friday and Saturday at 7, Sunday matinee at 2 p.m. And they would love to see a great audience cheer them on. So thank you.
I want to introduce my guest for the day, Randy Anderson, who you may all remember. She was a student in the STRIVE program. She's now a famous lawyer. Thank you very much. You want to say something?
Thank you for inviting me, Susie.
Hi, everyone. I'm back.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I ain't going to continue on. You ready for this, Doc? Go ahead.
Happy to be healthy. I've been sick twice over the last month. Yeah, 2 different flus, an eye infection. Everybody seemed to be sick at home, but nobody had COVID. So we've all tested negative every time we tested. So just a lot going around. But anyway, good news. My oldest son and his wife are on a game team called D-Cell Games, and they've been working on a game for at least 2 years now called Unbeatable. They went to MagFest, which is a conference of all the people who work in the gaming industry. It was in Maryland. They always have it around DC every year. They won Best Music and Best in Show for their game, for Best Indie Game. And I'm particularly proud because Robert does all the music for the game. So, and I'll put in money for that and the guest today. Oh, you don't want us? Okay.
Okay, Matt, that's pretty much it for your program, except we didn't collect any money. So we need to have somebody go around. Since nobody gave any money as a SARD, let's all put some in a piggy bank. That's what we need to do.
Yes, feed the pigs, And a reminder that we're starting in pretty much a new year, and that you would make a contribution to the foundation. Every Rotarian every year is our goal. And I wish you all the best this week.
All right, we're going to do the Queen of Hearts.
So John, you want to draw a ticket? Not yours. 627. Anybody got 627? Right here. Oh, all right.
Get this out of the way quick.
Two spades. All right. Another one bites the dust that because they had more money in the pot. Okay, Matt, you got anything else?
No, that's it for my end. Except I just want to say that this time of fellowship, either whether we're in here virtually or all there together in the room, is such an important thing, particularly during these stressful times, that we maintain contact with each other and share our love and our devotion to service to the community. And I just appreciate all of you very much.
Well, thank you, Matt. Anybody else got any comments before we go? If not, we are adjourned. Thank you.